Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mojave Guide. Today, I'm heading out to Little Dumont Dunes in search of, as always, adventure. But specifically today, I'm looking for a plaque that's not easy to find, but it commemorates the story of these miners that lost their lives in the late 1860s. And there's some pretty cool stuff around there. But my goal today is really to make it over there so I can share the story with you of the one miner who survived and how he made it happen, and kind of tie together a few of the strings that are laying out there, or maybe not. Anyhow, stick with us as we go in search of adventure deep in the Mojave Desert. All right, let's go do this. So our story today begins at the intersection of Highway 127 and Saratoga Springs Road. And Saratoga Springs is actually in Death Valley, so you're going to be heading west on this dirt road. Now this road's actually a graded gravel dirt road that's sometimes graded, so it's kind of got the desert chatter in it, but it's still doable for, a four-wheel drive, not a lot of clearance. From there, the road's definitely going to get a little bit more difficult as it's going to get a little bit more rocky. It's kind of sandy and rocky. And after you drive up about, roughly a mile, maybe a mile and a half up that, it turns into a pretty serious four-wheel drive only road. And really you're going to want to have a four-wheel drive or a buggy, because this is going to get very rutted, and the ruts are deep, the rocks are big, and it's pretty serious 4x for a minute. I mean, it's passable, but serious. And, well, yeah, you're going to be beep-bopping for a while. Having said that, it's probably a good time to fill you in a little bit on the reason I'm driving up this road. So the reason why we're going up this road today is because we're heading to a place called Sheep Creek. And Sheep Creek is kind of the starting point to the story about these gold miners that were killed by the Shoshone, possibly the Southern Paiute tribe in 1866. And that story basically starts by saying that the Shoshone were spotted first at Sheep Creek. So I thought to myself, let me go up and investigate Sheep Creek. I guess I'm going up Sheep Creek, no pun intended, and making my way to see where this whole legend began. Because supposedly this roving band of Native Americans, either Shoshone or Southern Paiute, came across these miners at a place called Salt Creek, which is on the east side of Highway 127, and, well, basically slaughtered 7 out of the 8, and the 8th one made it to a place called Camp Marl Springs, was able to get a hold of the cavalry, and they came back and found the rest of them slaughtered. But all good stories have to start somewhere, so my understanding is that this is where it's at. And nevertheless, it should be a beautiful drive up, and I wanted to show you guys how to get here. So, back to the drive. This drive is definitely rugged and rocky, and you should be ready for it. Seems like it goes on for quite a while, but really pretty soon you're going to get to one last patch of really rough stuff, and then it's pretty much just a kind of a gravelly dirt road with an amazing view. And once you get to the top of the canyon, it's a little bit rough going through, and really you're driving down this incredible wash. And boy, does that really, at least for me, remind me of just how powerful Mother Nature is. This wash is no joke, and you definitely would not want to be stuck here in a thunderstorm. The geology of this place is incredible, and it's really a sight to behold. Definitely a crowd pleaser, I would say. So once you make it all the way to the top, all of a sudden you kind of come around this corner, and there it is. There is this flowing body of water, which is this beautiful little creek, and that is called Sheep Creek. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a great drive and a fantastic way to spend the day. There's tons of hiking and climbing to do around this area, and a bunch of exploring. Alrighty, folks, well, we made it. We're up here at Sheep Creek in the Avawatz Mountains. And This area is historically significant, one of the only water sources in this entire region, and that's a primary water source, and it's good water, which is a rare thing in this area. I'm not really seeing any petroglyphs or any spots for petroglyphs. Most of the history I'm seeing around here right now, it's mining related, and you can tell because there is a road that's been cut here, and there's also an old cabin that used to be here, and a couple old pipes and stuff like that. But long before they would have been mining here, this would have been a spot where the Shoshone, which was the pretty much dominant tribe in this area, and the Southern Paiute would have definitely frequented this creek. And lots of resources for them. Most important resource, of course, would be water. And this is where Blackie first encountered the Shoshone or Paiute. Still not sure which tribe it would have been, but as the story goes, somebody saw a large group of Native American camped here. And by large group, I'm guessing 40 to 60 warriors. And saw them, made his way back down, gave a warning to his colleagues, and thus starts the whole legend of the 7 men who were killed in the desert and the one who escaped. But to make an escape from that location, well, you had a couple ways to go. One was towards Death Valley. One would have been going towards the Kingston Range, and or you could have gone up Amargosa Wash. Not great water, but still water. And of course, you could have run across the sand dunes, or you could have done what Blackie did, and that is come right back to where these folks were, because the one thing that they probably didn't expect was that move. Instead of running away from them, running towards them. And I think that by doing that, Blackie knew this area good enough to know that this canyon actually cuts through, provides resources. There's another spring further on up called Mormon Spring. And, well, that's what he would have needed to make his way all the way over to Camp Marl Springs. My belief is that's what he did. Not only would this area have provided water, it would have provided cover, and it also would have provided food. So that's my bet. I bet you he actually came this way. Anyhow, Sheep Creek is an amazing spot. Water's absolutely gorgeous here. Temperature today is very nice. And it's a spot that I would encourage everybody to come to. To get here, you're going to need a 4x with a bit of a lift on it. And you're going to have to remember that you got to get past all the rugged rock, and then it's really not too bad a trail. And it's a great place to come and spend a day, have a picnic, bring the kids and explore. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. I'm going to make my way over to Salt Creek, which is where the next part of this adventure begins. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what made that place so special. And I invite you to come along and explore this amazing part of the Mojave Desert with me. All right, we'll see you on over there.